Hi everyone. Now this is a Peeping Caddis. This one's called the chewing gum Peeping Caddis. Now this one was originally tied by Kieron Jenkins using basically what they call the chewing gum. It's a worm as they call it. There's different colours. This one here's chewing gum. This is a Hulk which I've used for the larva. I've got the Dallas Brown, which is for the body. So it's a nice wee pattern to tie. It's a tungsten head and a jig head. So basically the reason I'm sitting it like on my vise like this, when you're using a jig head, this is how it's going to sit. And it's really simple to tie, so I'll show you how to do it. It's quite quick and easy. So get a hook into the vise. Now first thing I'm going to do is put a bead on the hook I'm using. Firstly is this one here. This is a fully mill. It's a Jig Force black nickel, and you see it's a size 14. It suits obviously the style of bead that suits these jig heads is a slotted bead. Now to put a slotted bead on, now I'm using a 2.8mm bead. You're looking for the small hole with the point through it, and then your slot you want to be is when you put it onto the hook. The slot should be in the top of the shank. In this case, now I'm going to show you how it should sit. It's with the slot in the upside because it will give you a neater underside. So it will. That's the way it's going to be. You're going to see it when it's sitting in the water. But anyway, hopefully the fish will see it. At the end of the day, it sits better if the slot's on top. If it doesn't, then it's not going to end. It's not going to stop the fly working. It's just that it just sits better. Now you could put lead or even wire on this just to make it a wee bit, as I say, the heavier. But I like it just with the normal bead itself. Thread I'm going to be using, in this case the dark brown, in this case the uni. Now I have waxed the thread. So the first thing I'm going to do is just build up a wee drop of thread just at the bead to stop it running, or stop it moving down the shank. Then we run it out, we take the thread all the way to the back and just slightly around the bend, just down the bend a bit, there. Now the first thing I'm going to tie in, now I sit and make these, as you can see here. This is one I've done earlier with the, I'll show you, I'll just tie it in just now seeing it's there. Now what I've done, I've coloured the end, I've melted it with using a lighter. And then I've used I put a resin on it to make it really shiny and pronounced, just like a small caterpillar. We basically tie this on the top. Now the length is up to yourself. I mean, you don't want to put too small in. You want to make sure you can actually see the caddis larva sitting out, peeping out, and the fish obviously attracted to that. Now to get it like that, now I've put 3 or 4 turns in. As you can see, it's sitting up very caterpillar-like. Trim away the excess here. What I do is I'm using this is the Hulk green. You can see this is the chewing gum, basically called worm, and it's the F&F product. It's a nice material to use. It's good in bodies obviously. Now what I'm going to do here, what I found when you melt the chewing gum, it doesn't go very brown. So what I like to do is using a Sharpie pen, a brown Sharpie pen, I just lay it on my desk onto a piece of paper and I just lightly mark the end. I'm going to show you just with the pen to get a bit of colour there. So then when I melt it, and you'll see here, now you've got to be ready to blow. So just get a lighter, come in and blow whenever you see it going like that, and then you end up with a lovely wee shiny head, which is fine enough. But what I like to do is to make it even better, I'll get some light resin, make it a bit bolder, just all the way around. And I'm happy, and I can set the resin. Just give it a good 10-20 seconds anyway at least, and then that's for your next fly. So it's very easy actually to do. There we are, that's how I formed the head. Okay, now then for the legs, but before I put the legs in, what I'm going to do is make sure this is secure. Just tie this in. I mean, it looks a bit bulky, you could take some of this out just to reduce the bulk a wee bit. Well, not so much the bulk, but make it easier to tie in actually. A bit better. I can take out some of the stuff underneath. I can always tidy this on the way back down. So that's the Peeping Caddis, obviously part done. Now there is this is called Dallas Brown, it's the same, I've got the same here, there we are, it's a chewing gum worm it's called, Dallas Brown. It's a great chenille this bit as well, it's good for doing a lot of bodies. Now I'm actually going to tie this on the way down, so I'm going to catch it in, but I'm going to catch it in so it's on my side, so that I'm not interfering with the top of the shank. So I'm going to put the legs in, nice and tight. Now what I've got here is some partridge feathers, some natural partridge, this kind of brown partridge, as you can see, just remove the fluff. Now I'll get 3 flies out of this, so what I do is I take out this, cut the centre stem, so I've got a right and a left, and then I do it again, so right and a left, and then the very tip, do the tip out, and again this gave me fibre for the right and left. Now I'm going to do it so they're curling, natural curls going up the way, and make sure your thread's right at the caddis. Just going to tie it practically onto the stem. I'm going to show you just a couple of turns round, but just to give the impression of the legs. Just checking the length at this point and where they're sitting. I'm just going to go back, it's just a wee bit too long, so I'm going to go back, just push it. There we are. I'll show you. Body material's out of the way, sorry. Let's see how it looks. We can always tidy up. See, it's going to sit like this. There's the legs sitting out, that's fine. So we're going to bring the body up. Nice and tight, make sure it's tight. Just come round, I usually hold it and then tighten. And again, right up to the bead. Catch it on. I mean, this gives the impression of these wee caddis or larvae, what they do is cover themselves with gravel and whatever really. I've seen them even using the reeds on the side of just put themselves into a reed. Just depends on the bottom they're in, because they'll use whatever they want, whatever they can. This just gives the impression of the sand more than anything, so trim away once you've cut it in. Then varnish. Good bit of varnish onto the thread, because what I'm going to do is build up the head with the varnish, the thread, and then come in and wet finish. So there's quite a bit of varnish in there. I've whipped over the top, and that's it. And then just to get the idea of the legs, there we are. And that's basically the Peeping Caddis. Now if you take it off, just to give you an idea how it's going to sit when you're fishing this, it's going to actually sit upside down like this. I'm just going to set the bead here so you can see. So basically that's how the caddis sits, with the legs showing through. Really simple to tie, very effective pattern, so it is. The gummy, basically this material, the chewing gum, it's like a chenille. I would call it more a chenille, but it's a lovely fibre, it's really nice to use. But it does look very caterpillar or a larva. I mean, it is like a small caterpillar really inside a shock, if you want to call it. And if you ever want to tie like small caterpillars, I mean, these look like small caterpillars. I've obviously done a few, and you can see if it's long enough you could tie this easily. But there we are. That's the, well, basically it's Kieron Jenkins chewing gum caddis, peeping caddis. Nice wee pattern, fun to tie. So hope you enjoyed that.